Don't get me wrong, the RPM is a useful tool. It's simple to use, it's not that expensive to buy, and today you can get one for anywhere between 300 to 1200 AUD or NZD. And most importantly, you can significantly benefit from using an RPM to measure and manage your pasture. However, that doesn't mean it's the best tool for you. Let's talk about 4 things that an RPM cannot do well. First, RPMs cannot measure pasture growth accurately. RPMs can only measure vegetation growth at a particular point or a series of particular points in your paddock. You then use these measurements to make an assumption about pasture growth across the paddock. Obviously, this is limited and inaccurate. It does not take into account key factors such as gradient, slope, soil type, as well as irrigation and rainfall. It also only measures vegetation growth in terms of height or condensed height. It does not give you any information about density or quality. You still need to gauge this. You still have to write down your readings at every point manually. This can lead to unintended human errors. Secondly, RPMs cannot measure pasture growth regularly. You need about 4 hours to measure 100 hectares of pasture with an RPM, and you need to do it regularly, at least every week, to manage your pasture well. Given other priorities, emergencies and constant work, there is a good chance that you give measuring pasture growth a low priority status. Chances are that it gets postponed or even skipped. This could result in lower farm productivity. Thirdly, RPMs cannot measure pasture growth in a cost-effective manner. RPMs themselves are not costly, but they also need additional labour and time. This is costly, and any errors can be costly as well. As discussed earlier, you need about 4 people hours of effort to measure growth for approximately 100 hectares of pasture. This cost can quickly add up, especially considering that you have to do this every few weeks. Besides, you will still have to map the readings into your farm layout. This will again further cost you additional time and effort. Time is equal to money. You should also consider how this time and effort can be used in other ways to give you better results and profits. This is often overlooked. And most importantly, what if RPM readings severely overestimate available kilograms of dry matter per hectare? You would then have to pay a lot in terms of lower milk production or higher last-minute fodder purchase costs. And fourthly, RPMs often do not help you make effective grazing decisions. As a progressive livestock farmer, one of your primary objectives is to ensure that your cattle get enough nutrition throughout the year. To achieve this goal, through pasture means you improve cattle health and farm profits. This boils down to making effective daily and weekly grazing decisions. Ideally, you would need to know how much kg of dry matter in each of your paddocks has on a daily or even a weekly basis. You would also want to analyse this information over time to identify intervention areas that can improve your pasture. On top of this, you would ideally also want to take into account your weather, farm data, and to make the analysis more relevant. RPMs cannot help you do this. No, nunca, not possible at all. So, if you own and run a farm with livestock that graze, especially one that is larger than 100 hectares, by using RPMs you might be losing out on opportunities to manage your pasture better. What if there was a better way to manage your pasture effectively? Something to help you take effective grazing decisions, frequently based on data and insights from your farm. Something automatic, something quick and easy to use, and something that is cost effective and can help you get a 40 times return on your investment. Check out what we're building for you at pasture.io. We have added a link in the description of this video, and if you find this video useful, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We talk about livestock farming and ways to improve your livestock health and profit through pasture grazing. So see you soon in another video. Until then, happy farming.